Children, how are you all? Fine? I think you all are healthy and fine. In previous class, we started Geography chapter 10, the human environment, settlements, transport and communication. Under this chapter, I explained about the meaning of settlements, different types and patterns of settlements, and urban and rural settlements. In this only I explained about rural settlement. Now I am going to explain about urban settlements. So around 5000 years ago, as civilizations grew, civilization means society, a group of people started to live together with a advanced development. Civilization means when the people lived in a group or in a society with a particular development. They started to grow they started to live near the river valleys around the different parts of the world. Urban settlements or towns and cities started developing. Slowly these civilization or society started to live in urban areas. Urban areas means towns and cities, and started developing. And how they started, how this urban area changed into rural how the urban settlements convert from the rural areas or from the rural settlement, and how they are different from each other, So first point, generally the people in urban settlement are engaged in secondary and tertiary activities. In rural areas, the people engaged in primary activities. Primary activities means the raw materials which we get from the nature and or which extract from the nature. But in urban areas or urban settlement, the people are engaged in secondary and tertiary activities. Secondary activities means processing or manufacturing, means converting raw material into the manufacturing products or the finished products. This is called the secondary activities. What is the meaning of secondary activities? Secondary activities means converting raw material into finished goods or manufacturing goods. The process to convert raw material into manufacturing or finished goods. And the tertiary activities means providing their services. Okay, and tertiary activities means providing their services like transport service and health facilities or banking, teaching. All these are come under this tertiary activities. And cities have better infrastructure. Infrastructure means like a transport, communication system, and provide better medical facilities, educational institutions and banking than they are available in the rural areas. So in urban settlement or cities and town have better infrastructure. Infrastructure means like a good network of transport, good quality of transport, network of communication, and providing the better health facilities, and having the higher educational institutions and banking. All these facilities are not available in rural settlement. Next is, urban settlements are usually much larger than rural settlements in area and the population size. Okay, rural areas, they are smaller than the urban areas in area wise or population wise. In urban settlement, the population also more and area also more. The average income of the people who live in urban areas is generally higher than the people who are living in rural areas. Okay, so here the income, average income, or income means earning. The earning or average earning of people is also higher than the people who are living in rural areas. And in urban areas there is also trade. Higher trade means export and import, or buying or selling in a higher quantity. Okay, so these are the different. Okay, now next, an urban settlement. Urban settlement can be classified on the basis of their main functions. Okay, now here is the classification of urban settlements. Previously we have seen the difference between urban settlement and the rural settlement. Now here we are going to see the classification of urban settlement on the basis of their main function. So the towns where the surface or the underground mining. What is the meaning of mining? Mining means extracting material or extracting minerals from the surface of the earth. Okay, so the towns where the surface or underground mining is the most important function are called mining or quarrying towns. Okay, mining or quarrying towns. So some cities and towns are famous for mining. Some cities or towns are famous for mining, and mining is the main important or most important function or main occupation for the people who are living in the cities and towns. So like this, cities and towns are called mining or quarrying towns. For example, Hatti, gold. There is a gold mine in Hatti. Dhanbad is famous for coal mines. Johannesburg, it is in the world. Johannesburg is the midst of Witwatersrand gold fields in South Africa, and Pennsylvania coal is famous for coal mining. It is in the USA, and Sudbury, there is a nickel. Nickel is the name of metal. It is in Canada. These are the some examples for mining town or the quarrying town. Second one is the town. Some towns or cities are famous for industries. Means there are most industries are there. So that type of towns or cities are called industrial town. So town where processing or manufacturing is the major activity are called industrial towns. Okay. For example, Chicago, Essen, Glasgow, Jamshedpur, Bhilai, Mumbai, and Osaka. All these are the some examples of industrial town. The towns that manufacture automobiles. Automobiles are part of vehicles. And junctions where rail routes or roadways meet, and those with transit facilities for change in the mode of transport are called transport towns. Okay, some towns are famous for manufacturing automobiles, and some towns are famous junction. Junction means where the rail routes or roadways meet, or from that junction we can get rail service from any part of the India or any part of the world. and those with the transit facilities for change in mode of the transport are called transport towns. For example, Berlin, Chennai, Detroit, London, Paris and Seattle are some examples. So these are the some examples of transport town. Next, towns where the extensive marketing of finished products after manufacturing products in the factories or industries, the products are ready for sale. Okay, and but some towns are extensive or famous for marketing of finished products or service, and the capital take place are called the commercial town. So some towns are famous for marketing of finished products. Some towns are famous for marketing of finished products, service or capital. So this type of or these towns are called commercial town. And in this commercial town can have many ports which facilitates international trade. Like international trade means export and import from one country to another country. This is called international trade. International trade means export or import from one country to another country. Like London, Mumbai, New York, Shanghai and Tokyo. These are the some examples of commercial town. Next is administrative towns. Administrative towns are the towns where the government of a state or nation function. The national capital, federal state capital or provincial capital can be considered. So, for example of this, administrative towns means administrative towns from which the government of a state or nation functions. It means from the town and cities the government work for the nation. National capital, we can have the national capital, federal state capital or the provincial capital. Example, London, Paris, Chandigarh, Gandhinagar and New Delhi are some of the examples. Some towns are function as a base for the armed force for the country, and so they are called the defense town. Some towns are function as a base for the armed forces. There are three armed forces: Army, Navy and Air Force, and another force for the coastal guard. All these are called the armed force. So this town is this type of towns are called defense towns. These towns have barracks, training academies. Barrack means where the soldiers live. Training academies, there are training centers, naval docks and airfields, and they are also called garrison town. So defense town is also called garrison town. Mahau and Jalandhar in India and Portsmouth and Plymouth in UK are some of the example. Okay. Next is cultural and educational towns. Some cities and towns are famous for cultural activities and educational institutions, like Petersburg, Oxford and Cambridge. These are the educational towns. Cambridge University, Oxford University, Petersburg, all these are the educational towns. And some cultural towns like Jerusalem, Rome, Mecca and Madurai are some of the example of religious towns. Many religious towns can have like Agra, Lucknow and Hyderabad. All these are the cultural towns. Now, the rural and urban interdependence. How the rural and urban interdependence means depend on each other. The people who lived in rural areas and the people who lived in urban areas, they depend. Interdepend means they depend on each other. Rural areas and urban areas are highly dependent on each other, while urban areas depend on rural areas for food grains and raw materials. The people who lived in urban areas, they depend on rural areas for their food grains. Food grains means like wheat, rice, pulses, and other raw materials for industries. For example, sugar industry. For sugar industry, the raw material is sugar cane, and sugar cane they get from the agriculture. Okay, so in this way, the urban areas and rural areas, they dependent on each other. But and the people who lived in rural areas, they also depend on urban sector. For example, suppose for sugar, they need sugar cane, and after producing sugar cane, they need to sell. So they depend on urban sector for their produce and the source of finished products. And today there is a large scale migration of people from rural to urban areas. And here most of the people, they migrated. Migrated means they moved from rural area to urban areas. And this has negative impact on the economy of village. And able-bodied people, they move to cities in search of better opportunity. It also causes overcrowding in the cities, because there are many reasons. The people who lived in rural areas, all 12 months, they are not engaged in agriculture. Few months they are free. So in this free time, they moved to urban areas in search of better job or better opportunity. And because of this migration, it is overcrowding in the cities. Overcrowding means increasing population. Overcrowding means number of people living in urban areas are increasing because of this migration. Because of this migration. Now, transport. Transport is the movement of the people of material from one place to another. Already we know what is the use of transport. Transport is the movement of people. Transport means movement of the people and the material from one place to another place. Primitive humans means in previous age, before so many years ago, the human walked long distance and carried their burden. Burden means their luggage, their material, along with them on their head or shoulder. Okay, they carried along with their material or along with their object or things. They carried all these things on their head or on their shoulder. As the wheel invented, the people used animal-driven carts to carry goods for them. As the human invented wheel, so they used animal-driven carts to carry their goods. But as the time passed, steam engine and oil-powered engine invented, and the several means of transport evolved for much faster than existing means previous method. And today roadways, railways, waterways, pipelines and other means of transport are invented. For these means of transport, they led a emergence of the transport like a terminal, like a bus station, railway station, uh, river and ports and seaports. Okay, railway station, riverine, ports and seaports, because of the invention of this steam engine and oil power engine. And the means of transport are a great importance as they provide much needed connectivity for the growth and development of a country and the world as a whole. Okay, so this means of transport are a great importance. Why they are more important? Because they provided much needed connectivity, means they can connect from one place to another place. They transport material and people from one place to another, and they help in the growth and the development of a country. Next, roadways. The roadways are the most common means of transport. Roadways easily they can construct even in the hilly areas or even in the small villages. Now small villages are also connected with the roadways. So roadways are the most common means of the transport, particularly for covering the short distance. For short distance we can use roadways, but for the long distance we can use train or railways or airways according to our convenience. With the industrial development, the length of road has increased. Okay, and many stretches of forested and even agricultural land have been cleared for building roads. And the roadways are considered the best means of transport for the following reason. Why the roadways are considered as the best means of transport? Because they provide door to door service, means village to village they can provide the service, and they are the main means of transport in remote hand-locked villages. Some villages are totally disconnect from the cities and towns, so they at least they can provide all these facilities. And the roadways are easier to build and maintain in a difficult terrain. Terrain means different difficult landforms like forest and the mountains. Okay. In India, roads are classified into 5 categories. National highways. What is national highways? National highways which connect state capitals. National highways connect state capitals. Border roads which maintain the supply of line to the remote areas along India's border. Border roads connect the supply line to the remote areas, means which are very sensitive. And state highways which connect the district capitals within the state. State highways connect the district capitals, district from one district to another district. And the district road which connect from various towns and cities. And the village roads. Village road means which connect from one village to another village. So these are the different types of roadways. National highways which connect state capitals. Border roads which maintain and supply line to the remote areas to the India's border, means from one country borders to another country's border. And state highway which connect the district capital within the state, and the district roads which connect various towns and states, and the village roads which connect from one village to another village. But some world's highest roads also is in India, and It runs from Manali to Leh. Manali to Leh at the average height of 4,000 meter. And the National Highway Development Authority is building the Golden Quadrilateral, connecting four of India's major metropolitan cities. The Golden Quadrilateral roadways connecting four India's major metropolitan cities: Chennai, Mumbai, Delhi, and Kolkata. And the length of this Golden Quadrilateral roads 5,846 kilometer. And the next one is the East-West Corridor. The length of this roadways is 7,300 kilometer, and which connecting Silchar in the east and the Porbandar in the west. This is the second one. The next is North-South Corridor, which connect Srinagar. Srinagar is in Jammu and Kashmir, and the Kanyakumari is in the south. And some of the prestigious roadways in the world also. The Trans-Canadian Highway, which links Vancouver in British Columbia to St. John's City in Newfoundland. Second, the Transcontinental Stuart Highway, which connect Darwin and Melbourne via Tennant Creek and Alice Spring in Australia. The next, the highway in China that link Chengdu to Lhasa in Tibet. The Golden Quadrilateral or the Super Expressway of India. Okay, so today I explain about the urban settlement, classification of urban settlement, transport. In the transport I explain about roadways and the different types of roadways in India, and as well as the famous or prestigious roadways in the world also. Now your homework, you learn glossary or you see the video and learn. Thank you. Have a nice day.